Year. I hope you guys are enjoying your Christmas, your New Year. You guys are having a cool day. So we're gonna be talking about um, telephanting, or I think that should be tax should be tax 14, if I'm not mistaken. But just check that in a moment. We get to see what we're looking for. Okay, so I think this tax 4, no. So I think we are getting there gradually. After this tax, what's the next tax? This tab alphabet, or tab alpha, anyone. So all smile in the mirror. Smile in the mirror. Actually, when you're smiling in the mirror, when you're looking your face, you might not be smiling, but um, all of a sudden you just change your face. Still the same face, but just a change of face from your normal state of face or countenance to you smiling. So we are asked to create or write a program that is going to be printing small and capital letters. So that's what we are writing. So we're gonna end up having Z or Y, small letter Z, capital letter Y, small letter X, capital letter W, small letter V, capital letter U, T, S, and like that till we reach capital letter A. So that is the function we are writing, and I'm gonna give you from basics. I assure you this is gonna be the best moment ever, because I'm coming with 3 approaches, and actually, if you don't understand these approaches, we need to pour you olive oil. So don't mind, just kidding. So we have a lot to do, a lot of work to do, and I will see how I can explain this in 3 steps, because what we need now in the industry is being able to write a concise code, um, and a code that is a way accurate, more flexible, easy to read, and is not something that is bulky bunch, as you understand. So we are going to come with that 3 approaches. So actually, um, there's a very important thing I would like to discuss to explain to us here, is that it's very important you write code by yourself, you think by yourself, because that's going to help you a long way. So actually, for those that are difficult for them being unable to think by themselves, so that is why I came up with approaches like this, came up with solutions like this, came up with a channel that I'll be able to use to explain idea, explain things for a layman to understand. Not actually a layman, because you guys are in the ministry, so there are certain things that you guys ought to understand, but I'm just actually explaining this thing as if you have no idea about it. Okay, so if you have been following from the beginning of this course, there are certain things you have to understand, and that's why I advise you don't skip any of this, because um every information is important. Every information is important, as stupid as it may looks like, but it's still really important. That is one thing we should know. Okay, so without wasting time talking, so we are asked to write a program that prints the ASCII alphabet. So I am very sure that you guys should understand that by now, in reverse order. So reverse order simply means is going to start from Z to A. That's reverse order. Alternating lowercase and uppercase. So not just reverse, but it's also alternating. So it's not just from A to Z, but we have A, small letter A, capital letter Y, small letter X, and so forth. So it will start Z in lowercase and Y in uppercase, not following by a new line. So we don't need to have a new line. You can only use one print function with string format. So actually we're asked to use one function with string format. Yeah. So if you use the um f string, and there is no issue with that because it's still going to work properly. And actually I'm coming, it's still going to properly. Sorry, I need to fix something up. So sorry for that. um you can only use one loop in your code, so we're only permitted to use one loop in our code. Then you can only use one print function with string format. That means you can use multiple print functions but not using string format multiple times. You can only use string format just once. You are not allowed to store characters in a variable. You are not allowed to store characters in a variable. But I'm going to show you three approaches where you in which you can solve this um very neat without this thing. I'll start from the normal syntax, then I'm going to shrink it, then I'm still going to shrink it again because I think the first generation computer, not the first and the second generation computer, the first was making use of a tube which was a way big. If you see their computer just as big as this house, um the second generation computer, something similar, but they were using a transistor, but at least a little bit big, big like a room, but not as the first generation computer. And the heat was at least reduced to some certain level, but it's still hot, still generate a lot of heat. So till transistors are now merged together to form what is called IC, and we have multiple IC, and we have computers that are very small. People can even take them about to even have what is called phone, that the IC is a way reduced to microchips, micro distance. So all those things are constraint of transistors with multiple terminal. So the same thing we are going to be applying here too, because we are going to be shrinking some stuff from the normal way we do it to a very simple way. Okay, so let's see. I think we start with a small letter Z and a small letter, capital letter A. So now let's get started. So I'm just going to navigate to terminal is. So this is where my terminal is. Then I'm going to start doing some stuff. So permit me to put up something. Okay, good. So I'm going to navigate to where I am working. So I'm just going to say CD, then desktop. Okay, so CDA LX, sorry, CD. Let me clear the screen. Then I finally to the last place. Sorry. Let me take this up. So 0x0, just like that. Then 1. And we are going to hit enter, and we are there. So now that we are there, let me still keep on clearing. So if we list what we have there, these are the bunch of stuffs we have there. So we are going to be creating a file called vi, I think it's alphabet, I don't know, but it's 100 I'm just trying to remember the name of the file in case. I just pray I should spell it correctly. So let me that if I'm giving it the right spelling. TEBH PLA, TEBH PLA. Okay, so it's wrong. So I need to correct that. TEB BAH then the last thing there is PLA. I think there should be something there. Print underscore. Let me confirm that. Print 100 print underscore TEBAHPLA.py. So that's the name of the file. So we're gonna get started now. So the first thing I'm gonna put there is my usual stuff. So USR PIN / So actually, whenever you are writing your normal code, or maybe you are writing Python in text editor like PyCharm or all these things, you don't need all this stuff here. So we have 4 because we are going to be looping through something to get what we want. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I just want to do it in a way that is a way explainable. So I'm going to be looping maybe X in something. So actually something, what will be that thing? I'm going to be ranging it from capital letter. Sorry, that range receive numbers. So I could have put from Z to A like this, but actually I don't know the number of small letter Z or Z to A, so I need to put it in its hexagonal format, the numerical format. So how to do that is just ORD, then open and close parentheses, go inside it and put you are starting with Z, right? Then we are going to end with ORD, open and close parentheses, like that. Then we end with A, just like that. So you can see what we have there. Now you want to print this and see if it works. Print and let us see if it works. So if I come in here and pass in X just like this, and I want to see if that works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the mode. U plus X like that. Then 100, right? Good. So I'm going to run that and let's see what we get. I'm going to put 100 like that. So actually nothing was printed out of the screen. Why? We expect to see numbers printed out ranging from that, but we are not seeing anything. So what could have been the problem? Why are we experiencing that? What if, for instance, we put A, here, then we now come and put Z here. Let's see that if that works. Now let's run it. You see, actually something was printed starting from what? 97 to 121. You can see that. Wow, that is really cool. But why is the other one not printing? Is there any issue with that? So we want to see what is causing that. because we need to start from the biggest to the smallest. We need to be counting backward. So I'm going to replace this with Z back and replace this with A back. Sorry, A, I mean. Now, for me to be able to print in something moving backwards, what I need to do is just to add a comma here, then put minus 1, just like this. Now, me putting that minus 1 says I want to be going backwards. So, if the highest number is Z, yeah, I want it to be subtracting Z downwards, you understand, to the least number we have there. So if Z here is 122, which is the first number, 122, then that minus 1 will tell that 122 minus 1, that will give us 121 minus 1, 120 minus 1, 119, and so on. So you are going down just like that. So now let's see that. Let's see what we get there. If we use that, you can see, so it's subtracting it. So starting from what we have here, 121 minus 1, 122 minus 1, 121. So like that. 120. So it's subtracting, it's counting downward. 119, 118, 117. But if, for instance, we put minus 2, the thing will be subtracting 2. So from 122, we're having 120, we're having 118, 116, 114, and so on. So that is how we are going to do. So that is what that stuff is all about. So you get the concept about that, right? So you can even joke around it and try to hit minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 to see what is going on. Now, that is for the first part. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing here is we have gotten that, but let us see if this works with later. So I'm going to put CHR. I want to see how it's going to look with my letters. Know that this will convert it to the real actual letters we are looking for. Now, you can see we have what? From Z, ZY, XW, like that, till B. Where is the A? A is missing. So we need to add A to it. How can we do that? So to be able to add A, you need to come over to this place. Know that we are subtracting, and our subtract end at the least number there. So which is 198. So we need to subtract again from that 198. So what we're going to do is, at where we have the last number there, we need to add another minus 1 there. So you get that. You understand? So now that we have that, you can see now A is now added to our listing. So we have moving from Z, Y, X to A, which is the last number there. Good and fine. So that part is solved. Now it's time for us to put in our conditions to be checking if everything is good to go. Now we are able to loop. So let me add my end statement there. So to remove the new lines in there. So you can see we have Z, Y, X, W till A. Can you see that? Now, that is for this thing we have there. Are you with me? Now, good. The next thing I want to be doing here, I still want to check some stuff out. Now, that part is sorted out. Now I'm going to put a condition statement. Now you know that our first number starts with what? 122, which is odd and even. You understand? So odd and even. So just like that. So 122 odd 122 is even, 121 is odd, 120 is even, 119 odd, 118 even, so like that. So you love, and it is divided by what? 2. It can be divided by 2. So now, and when it's divided by 2, there is no remainder. So anything that's divided by 2 without remainder will be our even. And so it starts with the small letter z, which is 122. Z is 122, which is even number, right? Yeah, 122 is even number. It's not an odd number. So if we divide by 2, it's going to give us a remainder. So let us put this condition. If whatever x is, that is the loop itself that we're printing out, if the condition x divided by 2, when you put this sign, it does not really mean divide, it has to be with a remainder. If x divided by 2, or it's module 2, and the remainder of this calculation is not, so let me put a not condition, is not equals to 0, then I want something to happen. So you can see the condition I put there. If x module 2 is not equals to 0, that means when you compute these two lines and the remainder is not 0, because this always gives you the remainder of whatever number divided by 2, and if it is not equals to 0, then I want a function to run. You understand? Now, what is the function I want to run out? I want to run this function I think let me see, minus 32. Now, when putting 32, you remember in our last lesson, we talked about converting from small letters to capital letter. And the only way we can do that is the small letter minus 32. So minus 32 is the distance between, in the ASCII code, where we have a capital letter or a small letter from its capital letter, just like that. So if, for instance, x is a small letter, then if you add 32, that is going to give you the capital form and so forth, like that, right? So now let's see how that is going to look like. I want to see if it's going to give us what we are looking for. So now we are having capital letter Y, W, U, S, Q, O, M. But what are the rest? Gone? No. The rest are gone, like really gone. But actually, we are not doing this the right way, because there's one issue we need to sort out. We're not asked to pass in stuff like this. We're asked to use the F string. So how can we use the F string? So you're just going to put your stuff like this. Put your curly braces. Put your dots. Then you put your format. Then you put everything you have calculated in a bracket. So just like this. So you still give us the same output like the previous ones. You can see still YWX. So that is what we wanted to solve. Now, because this is the only thing that is printed out, no, this is not what we are looking for. We want to solve issue that is way important. So I'm going to over to the next line, then I'm going to press backspace to be on the same line with the if statement. So I want to write another condition. Else, if this condition is not true, then others too should be printed, because this is if statements have removed all the small letters, it's just focus on the capital letters. This is the only thing that is going to be printed. So I need to create another print statement that is going to be printing the other ones. So I'm going to put else here. Let it print. Now this time around, I'm not going to use the format string, because we are only asked to use one format string. So I'm just going to use F string here. So you know how to put the F string. You come over here and you add your F there. You can see how F string look like. Then you put your curly braces. Then in there you are going to put your X inside. Sorry, is it really X? Sorry, you're going to put your, I think, CHR, if I'm not mistaken. Then you're going to put X there, something like this. So I don't know if this works, but if this not work, then you no option than to use your format string. So let me come over here, add a comma, END. You know the reason I'm adding that. So now let's go over and check it. You see, it works just fine. See, we have Z, Y, X, W, V, and Z is a small letter, Y is a capital letter, X is a small letter, W is a capital letter, V is a small letter, U is a capital letter, T is a small letter, S is a capital, and A is, which is the last one, A is a capital letter. So this one works. But actually, the code is so cumbersome. Actually, not really cumbersome. Not cumbersome at all. But we can still make it a little bit more concise, more advanced, more, you understand? So one thing about the tech company, we have people that can do it, but what's the difference? What can you bring to the table? So we don't want to be using two printf statements. Actually, this is going to work properly. This is going to work, work. But there is an issue here we need to sort out. Okay, what if I reduce this more than this way, the way it is now? What if I get rid of this? Now let's get rid of this and let's see what we gonna get. So if, for instance, I delete this, then I delete this, I delete this, and I delete this. Now this is assuming where we started, or let's assume that this is where we stop, and I want to add something different. I can start with a print statement without the if and else. So I can start with print. So I just want to print everything normal. Then those ones that have conditions are going to come up later on. So I'm just going to be printing print because is a format string. So I'm just going to use this curly braces just like that, and I put dots here. But before I do that, there is issue with this. I'm going to assign I to 0 here. Yeah, actually I don't know if this have a for loop where we do I is less than and all those stuff like that. But actually, so let me just use this for the main time, because this also is going to work. This one too is going to work. So if I have format, then inside my format I put my CHR, then I open this and put X. I put X X here, then minus I. No, I does not really mean anything. At first, I doesn't mean anything. Okay, let me just leave it this way. X here, and let me add my end, or remove the new line there. So just like this. So I'll go ahead and run this, and see what we are going to get. So we still get small letters throughout. Now that we have done this, so I'm going to add a very stupid, complicated, not really complicating, but just kind of, it looks like an English word. Yeah, actually, an if statement, it looks like kind of an English word. So let's see. If I, okay, when I is equals to, let me say, when I is equals to, let me put 32. I should be equals to 32, I mean. So that is how it is. I should be equals to 32 if I is 0. Else, I should be 0. I know actually this is a way too confusing, but I'm going to explain. Now, when you take a look at this code, the main communication is in between here. So whatever we are doing there is like saying if I is equals to. Now let me read it for you. Whenever you encounter an if and else statement that looks like this is how you read it. If I is equals to 0, or if I is assigned to 0, or I is the same thing as 0, then let this part of this code, let this area of this code runs. Let it be executed. Else, if this condition that I said in the first place is not correct, then let I be 0. So whatever for the else statement is going to be here, and whatever for the what if statement that we have here is going to be at this place. So you can see how stupid this look like. Actually, not really stupid. So now that we have done that, we can go ahead and print so we can go ahead and print some stuff. So let me print using the F string. So you just want to see how this is going to work. So x minus I. So let me see if I'm putting it there at the wrong place. So I'm going to run it. Okay, so we have an emergency here. We have a small letter Z and capital letter Z, small letter Y, capital letter Y. So actually, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this away and just drop X there. And just drop X there and put minus I at this point. Sorry. So instead, let me put my minus I here and see what we got. Okay, still the same thing. I think maybe I need to get rid I need to get rid of that. I need to get rid of that statement, the last print statement. So I'm just going to delete that, like delete it. So delete like this. I think this is okay. Or this should be okay. Okay, you can see that is giving us what we are looking for. Z, Y, X, W, V, and to the N, which is capital letter. So this is what we are looking for. You can see this way it looks a bit clean, a bit nice. You understand? Actually, we make use of how many lines? Um, let me see. Set number. Okay, so we only make use of 5 lines. Wow, that is great. We making use of 5 lines. Okay, you know we can still squeeze it, make it more smaller. From this concept here, we can reduce it to something like 4 line or something like 3 lines. Let's see how we can do that, because this is becoming a way too interesting. Oh, sorry, delete that. Okay, so now let me change whatever we have here. uh, so I'm going to remove this like this. Good. So just like this. Now I'm going to use a format. Then I'm going to pass all the conditions inside this format. Now all the if and else and everything, I'm going to pass it inside this format to sort the case. So I want, what did I want to be printed out? I want CHMOD, yeah. Sorry, what am I doing? CHR, I mean. I want CHR to be printed out on the screen. Then we have X, then we have minus 32, just like that. So you can get that concept. Now, let this be printed if X model, if X model model 2 is not equals to 0. So you can see the condition I'm giving it. Else print CHR, then X, like this. So then we are going to have the end. So now we have this. You see, we still get the same output, but how many lines do we use? Let me see how many lines we use in this one. Actually, this is not part of it, so I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to escape and okay, and run it again. So it works. Now let's see how many lines this one use. WQ. Sorry. Set number. So this just make use of only 3 lines, and this is highly efficient. So you can see this. I just arranged this on a single row, and this just 3 lines. So you can see how pure it looks like. You can even use the other statement. If you want that I to be included, you use the previous one we make use of, and you just pass all of them on a single line and print it just like that. So you can see how cool it looks. So if maybe you might want to be trying it to see, but it's just going to add more time. It's going to be adding a lot of time. So let's see that and see how that's going to look like. So let this be true. So instead of me doing that, I'm going to put I here instead of 32. If so, I'm going to remove this and put something like if I is equals to, I'm just trying to look how I can fix that idea in here. If I is equals to 32, else print this. So I'm still thinking I'm gonna set I to 32. Okay, so let me get rid of this and put 32 there. I should be equals to 32. Oh, myself in this place, I'm really confused. But let me see if that works. Whoa, this is so on expected else after if. Okay, so let's see where we are getting this error from. So okay, so let me see. I x should be minus I if this condition is true, else I should be equals to 32. So I'm still checking to see. Okay, let me put 32 there. Okay, let me see CHR and put actually there's nothing here actually. So well, I'm really confused at this point because I'm really going deep. I was making this video very lengthy. So if this is equals to I, then okay, I think this is where I'm getting the error. So else, so let me see where I'm getting that error. So CHXI, if I is equivalent to 32, else let I be set to 32. So something like that. I just pray this should work. Whoa, another error. So if I is equals to 32, else I is equals to this cannot contain assignment. Perhaps you meant equals to so I think that's the reason you are unable to do that on the other distance. So that is why they pull it out from here and took it outside, because expression cannot contain assignment. Perhaps you meant equals to so I think I cannot assign inside this. I cannot do this is where the issue is. So I cannot do an assignment in here, so except I do something like equals to something like this. So that will not work, especially using this equivalent this stuff. It won't work at all. So thanks for watching. Please make sure you share to friends, subscribe, like, and share. Actually, I've tried my best because I've given 3 instances. I just wanted to add this. So, um, actually, we have discovered that we cannot assign inside a format function. It's not proper. We can't do that. We can't assign in it. So that is one thing we should take note of, or that is one thing we should learn. I hope you guys understand this, because if you don't understand, you need to go over and rewatch it again, and you need to have your notes and your pen so you really understand. Please don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, like, and share with friends, colleagues, and people you're working with. Have a nice day.